Hello everyone, we're standing here today at the Hydrogen Technology Expo in Bremen, organized by Transglobal Events. My name is Johann Wiebe from the Hydrogen Standard, and I'm standing here today with Leo Glinz from Maximator.
Hello.
Welcome, Leo.
Thank you for having me here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic, glad to have you. So tell us, what does Maximator do, and what is the business all about?
So Maximator is focused on high pressure equipment, and under the Maximator brand we have several companies nowadays. So the Maximator as the mother company, then next to it Maximator Hydrogen, which is focusing on Maximator high pressure refueling stations in the hydrogen business. And then we have Maximator VTech, which is focusing on testing equipment. So vessel testing equipment for type 4 end-of-line testing equipment. And then the mother company, Maximator, or next sister company, is producing valves, compressors, and all the bits and pieces around the hydrogen cases.
So it sounds to me that it's quite a holistic sort of offering of various applications that at various sort of stages in the supply chain can be utilized.
Yes, that's correct. So if you look in the automotive sector or mobility sector, we can offer the full system just in the stable sector. So if you go in the car, there our customers have their products, but refueling, testing, and everything around there we support the customer with all needs. Also in-house testing, a big thing. Yeah, it's a new industry. A lot of customers do not have the technology yet, and also do not have the experience yet in-house. And we can at Maximator or with our partners do the tests for the customer and do also the certification for the customer. Yeah?
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, there's sort of two ways. One, you either sort of sell the equipment to the customer and they do it themselves, or B, you might sell or rent the equipment or borrow the equipment to the customer.
Yes.
And you help them out.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So with the refueling station, it's of course something different. Yeah. So these normally will be fixed at one place, but even there we see that a mobile refueling station is something, especially for OEMs, something what they can use. But yeah, totally correct, like you said.
So on the infrastructure then, and the refueling stations, how do you see the rollout progressing? Maybe sort of like in the markets that you're active in, Europe, maybe other places too?
So in Europe, at the moment, we see due to the political situation at the moment, it's quite tough. Yeah? So the development, what we saw a couple of years ago, is still there, but it's not accelerating as much as we believed in. And there we have to work together, of course. So the industry has to work together on this subject, but also we have to speak with the government, yeah, that we keep focusing on green energy, keep focusing on electric cars, keep focusing on battery, but also most importantly from our side, of course, on hydrogen solutions. Yeah, and there we see a huge gap at the moment to America or also to Asia. So 3 weeks ago I was in Shanghai and traveled around China, and there you see how much action there is, yeah, and how they prepare themselves to the future. And there Europe is really lacking, and the strategy at the moment is roughly there, but we have to keep convincing the government, the industry, that we have more pressure in this regards, that we can develop our industry.
If I understand it correctly, then it's the lack of execution, or the slower execution compared to maybe some of the other regions that you just talked about. How are they taking care of sort of like because it's a little bit of a conundrum, right? The chicken and egg, sort of the infrastructure comes first and then the vehicles, or the vehicles come first and then the infrastructure.
Yeah.
How do you sort of experience then the sort of like more positive or successful implementation of that strategy in, for example, Asia compared to Europe?
So especially in Asia, they take care more about the full system. So they don't just say, okay, I support building the refueling station and then let's wait. So they have a full idea and say, okay, we bring the cars, so we support the manufacturers, the OEMs of the cars, and we bring the right people on the table who can supply testing equipment and the refueling stations. Yeah, so the government is much more involving in the beginning, yeah, on the process to start these industries. Yeah, and then of course, if you see this in the small scale, yeah, you can have a proof of concept and scale it up more quickly. Yeah, and they are very transparent and open about it. So they say, okay, that now from 2023 to 2026, it's a trial area, but also in a realistic size. Yeah, not 2 or 3 cars. They already scale it a little bit higher up. So in Europe, yeah, we have some government-supported regions, yeah, and projects, but there it's what's missing there is the link, yeah, the link to everything, yeah, that we get the green energy, that we get the green hydrogen, that we have in time the cars there. So this is one of the key elements what we ask for. On the other side, of course, mid-sized family-owned company, we try to take it in our hands, and we have to, yeah, because it's our own solution. And we speak with many other companies and partners about this and try to develop these kinds of projects together with them. Yeah.
On the sort of infrastructure, there are sort of various applications that I can actually make use of it. Particularly mobility is usually light duty, heavy duty. We also talked to some other companies and they were leaning towards the heavy duty space. I think in general the market, it seems to be perceived hydrogen makes most sense in sort of heavy duty vehicles compared to hydrogen cars. How do you guys see that?
Yes, so it's in general I completely agree. The most important thing is the energy. Yeah? So we need green energy at the right time, at the right place. Yeah? And the battery car is perfect if you have the energy at this time, at this place. Yeah? And due to the fact that this will not happen as soon as we hope for, and it will not be in this price range like a battery, a hydrogen tank, hydrogen truck will be. So there we see, of course, at the moment that the off-highway and truck or heavy-duty industry is with hydrogen much more effective at the moment. Yeah.
Delving a little bit on sort of the notion of cost. So in the heavy-duty space, cost is obviously, as with everywhere else, an issue, and also cost competitiveness to small conventional means. What do you think needs to happen for that to become more attractive or at par with sort of like the conventionals that we have at the moment?
I think it's starting to be like this. Yes, you know, next year we will have the CO2. How do you say, extra costs? Yeah, for every kilometer a truck will drive. Yeah, so worst case, they have huge increase of transportation costs. Yeah, if they use vehicles which has a high CO2 output. So there already we have the right incentives, yeah, to develop in the market where a battery or hydrogen car or truck will be in the right range or will come in the right range. On the other side, we as an industry has to focus and scale up and therefore bring the costs down. Yeah, but at the moment where we produce, like we say, 100 refueling stations and a hand of cars per year. This is of course not something where we can scale up and bring the cost down. Yeah, so this is the most important thing, that we have really the opportunity to scale up. Then the cost will automatically come down very extremely. Yeah, yes. On the other side, the most important thing is the green energy. If this is existing and we can use it, then I have no doubt we will bring the cost down for all the projects and all the goods.
Sounds like a nice one to end on that note. Leo Glinz from Maximator, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.